Have you ever walked past a remembrance bench and read the plaque and wondered who the person was? That's something I always do, and I'm guessing there's other people out there that do the same. This is a little introduction to myself. I'm Nick, and this is why I started Forever Unforgettable QR. So I've always had an interest with being remembered and how people are remembered and how all that's really left behind is maybe photographs, maybe videos, but even then that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just a name and two dates on a gravestone, maybe with a little quote, and obviously there's so much more to a person than that. And this is where it came from. So it was during a visit to Highgate Cemetery in London. I'm a little bit unusual where I've always had an interest in graveyards and I found them fascinating, particularly the Victorian graveyards, when back then it was a sign of wealth to how extravagant your grave site was. And it was fascinating. Every single grave was completely different. Some of them were unreal. Like that, you can see that spent millions on this grave site. Others a little bit more modest. And there was a lot of famous people buried there. Like Karl Marx, randomly Jeremy Beadle right next to him. Also George Michael and numerous other celebrities. And this got me thinking how nowadays, when you're buried, all you're left with, or all you get is a marble stone with a name and a date on it. And it's just sad that so many stories are lost over time. I mean, we all have amazing stories of family and friends, but how long do they last? No one's memory is amazing, and most people, 99% of people, they'll forget bits and pieces over time. And that is something that made me think there needs to be a way of recording memories. Like one day you might have lost someone close to you, and you have stories of them and you might have written them down, or you might not have. You might just keep it in your brain. Now those memories can go and they can just disappear, and we're only human at the end of the day. So I wanted to create a product where you can either speak, or you can type them, or you can just write them down and maybe take a photograph of the page with the story on it. So that way that story is always there and it's cemented in time. Highgate Cemetery is really where the seed got planted in my head, thinking we're in the future. The future is now, as corny as that sounds, it's now. And it frustrates me that people's stories and lives and the true essence of who they were, they gradually fade and go away. And it shouldn't happen, not in this day and age. We've got the technology there to remember and to keep them there, so they're there forever, so future generations. Now, this mightn't interest future strangers. I mean, you might have done something amazing where it will really interest. You might be a celeb and it'll interest people for generations to come. But this could be your great-great-grandkids. Now, how I look at it is, if I could see what my great-great-granddad did, his hobbies, his interests, where he went to school, his little traits, the things that make him him. If I could look back and go through his life, I might see little quirks that, I wonder if that's where I got that from, and it'd be so interesting to me, and I'd imagine it'd be interesting to a lot of people, and I hope Forever Unforgettable QR can help future generations understand who their loved ones were. I've been quite lucky where I've had quite a bit of my life in the media through my background in boxing. But there's so much there's so much that hasn't been in the media, and none of what I've done that's out there really says who I am. It just says what I've done, or what I achieved, which is really good, and I'm proud of the things that I have achieved. But there's so much more that actually makes me who I am that isn't out there. I mean, I'll use for example something that doesn't make me who I am, but it's interesting. I very nearly got signed by Floyd Mayweather and his TMT Promotions. I was rather unlucky that I did come back for 2 months, which he requested me to, but he was out the country the whole time, so he never got to see me spar. But again, that is something that I'm proud of that no one really knows. It's slightly different. I once had a gun pulled on me. I was living in London. That was a little bit unusual, but again, no one knows this about me. I also once talked a young lad down from committing suicide off a bridge. I drove him back to his. It felt like 20-minute drive. He'd come a long way, and that was something that I've always kept quiet, but it's something that I've been proud of. I like to think I hopefully made a positive difference in that young lad's life. And these are the things that I would like to be remembered for. In the end, every life's a story, and Forever Unforgettable QR was created to save that story in time. If this is something that interests you, please visit foreverunforgettableqr.co.uk. Also, the link will be in my description. Thank you.